I am sad to say I do not have San Francisco Airport behind me, and I'm not going to Lithuania, but I'm happy to see you all. And that leads me to this opportunity. I know that we've done our strengths, and we know what our strengths are as our cohort. We've looked at strengths every session through the 5 minutes of strengths. And this is an opportunity. It's an extra. It wasn't previewed at the beginning, but it is something that we would like to make available to you. And that is whether or not you'd like to dive deeper into strengths with either your team, which could include your principal. Jorge is not here. I'm going to speak behind his back, but he actually asked me to work with him and his principal, and we did her strengths, and I did an hour with her, and then I did another hour with him and her because he had suspected that her strengths were very similar to his and wanted to know how to work with somebody whose strengths were the same. So what we're offering to you is this. So you, as I've been rambling along, I hope you've read the bullet points to see what the offer is. And if you'd like to take the opportunity now to ask any questions of what that would look like, what the time ask is, I'm happy to answer that. But basically, if you have 3 or 4 or 5 people on a team, or you're doing a project with a team, or if you would like to form a team, this is open to you. And if your team is small enough, then I think that I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, Anne and Josh, is that we can subsidize some of the costs of that. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
So the $19.95 that it costs to do the test like you did, we would offer if you have 3 to 5 people. And then I would do a group session with your team. Then I would do another session with probably you to look at how you would manage that team through strengths, giving you strategies, activities. And then as an extra bonus, I sound like I'm on a game show here, I would offer any of your team that wanted a private one-to-one. If there's 50 people, that's going to be daunting, but if there's 7, 10, or 15, I could do that. So just so you know, this is optional. It's not required. It's your choice, but it's something that we're offering you. Pro bono.
Thanks, Robert. Jillian, Serena, Ken, Amy, I'd be curious to know what your reaction is to this. Any thoughts that come to mind in this particular moment, having heard what Robert is offering here?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just jumped in there. I hope you guys don't mind me speaking first. I actually just sent out that message. I'm interested because, and one of the biggest reasons as you were talking is, and I'm having to sit here and try to decide, like, who would I like to be my team? You know, I would love it for, you know, obviously my principal and our other assistant principal. However, you know, I know that they've done something similar in the past, and I'm thinking that my team of teachers, which are all new teachers, new to Kauai, some of them are new to teaching, some of them are a couple of years in, but I'm thinking this would probably be more beneficial for these guys as being kind of a newly formed group and working, and then just being able to kind of see where their strengths lie just in how they, you know, just start in their educational career path.
Serena, by the way, the only obligation for you is I have to do it in person, but
you want to come to Kauai?
just
Anne will be happy to bring you over. Anne could be your chaperone.
It's interesting you would say that. I've been working with a district in California, and there's a small school where the whole staff of the school is about 9 teachers, 9 or 10 teachers. And I actually did 3 sessions with the entire staff And I'm not blowing smoke, but there was only supposed to be 2 sessions, but they asked for a third. The reason they liked it so much is because they all came back and said, it's refreshing to have professional development or in-service training that actually is about us. You mean actually us. And they enjoyed getting to know each other through strengths. They enjoyed the strategies or the activities. So that as a group, Serena, would work if you have a group of teachers that you'd like to kind of collaborate, come together, get to know each other through some sort of a catalyst.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you. I think that's an activity like this, especially with when you have teachers that come from different places around the globe, coming together and being able to know how you can work with each other and where you can pull those different strengths from different places and become a true team. I think it's really powerful, especially in a middle school setting where you do have somewhat of try to have a teaming kind of environment.
And Serena, I'll chime in real quick here and say that I think you know already that on the What School Could Be platform, I have a group called Many One Voyage. And
I'm going to try to be there tomorrow.
Oh, so the episode that we're discussing tomorrow is that Guy Kawasaki interview with Sarah Greenberg, who's the executive director of the D School at Stanford, right? And I've been listening back to it today and getting myself ready for that. And it's just remarkable the ways that, that sort of element of design thinking that pulls a team together, but recognizes all of the unique strengths and qualities and skills and habits and dispositions of the people who are on that team. And out of that comes a much richer design experience. And you all went through that way back in the beginning when you first started contemplating 20% time, and you were doing your design thinking sprints, right? So I just think it's a fascinating moment here, and I'm glad that you'll connect directly with Robert on this. That's great.
Absolutely.
So Serena, you and I can fix I think it would be great, Serena, if we just fix a time to Zoom just to set out the strategy and what it would entail.
Okay, sounds wonderful. I'll just let you send me your availability and I'll work around and accommodate your schedule as best.
Cool. I have an unexpected amount of free time in the next 8 or 9 days that I wasn't supposed to have.
And Serena, one of the things that probably would be good at this point, and I'm happy to do it, is we have a meeting coming up with all of our executive coaches, and Lee is your executive coach, and we're going to be updating them on the things that are happening, and we'll let them know about this, and that'll be helpful for her to know.
Yeah,
right?
sounds great.
Jillian, you have your hand up. Jillian, go, Jillian.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's like a limit on time, because my answer to this is yes. And I feel like my whole team, the 5 of us have been drinking from a fire hose on full blast for like a while. And I think that this is really valuable work. And I just wouldn't want it to not land. It's not that they wouldn't participate. It's not that they wouldn't be interested. I just worry that like it wouldn't actually land and be something that we could like move forward with, because folks right now are like just not really capable of thinking much further past tomorrow.
So I'll answer both questions. First of all, the minimum amount of time for them would be the hour that I would debrief them as a team. So I take the whole team and go through each other's strengths in front of each other. And that would last about an hour. The next commitment of time would be with you to do an hour to talk about activities or strategies to keep this on the front burner, and where it would become actually useful in dealing with the fire hose question. Because when we lose our immune system to everything we're trying to do, we kind of forget about our strengths. And we also, with some of the strengths, we can actually overuse them. And people need to be aware that they could actually escalate some of their strengths, which could be some of the reasons they're feeling the burn. So if people know how to regulate their strengths, that could actually help the situation. But minimum would be an hour with your team and another hour with you.
And also just the time it would take to actually do the assessment, right, Robert?
Yeah, which is the 45 minutes that they can do at any time on their own. And you know what that's like because you all did it.
Okay, is that good, Jillian? Okay.
Yeah, I'll reach out separately. Thank you.
Okay, sweet. Amy, Ken, any thoughts? No worries if not.
I guess I just want to verify, I can have teachers on the team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What is your team, Ken?
It would be my 6th grade team. It's about 5 teachers. I think, you know,
Perfect.
they work well as a team, but it's because they've been together for so long and they're very like a family. I don't think that they're operating as efficiently as they could be. It's more like they're good at managing conflict within each other and not necessarily getting to a goal.
Okay.
I just
So
put in the chat for all of you my calendar link. And you can set up about a 15-minute Zoom with me just to talk about what would happen.
And it seems like this would be potentially a terrific moment if they've been together for a while and their family. This would be a bit of a Kickstarter, a little bit of different kind of ethanol fuel that comes in the tank, right? That's great. Okay. Amy, any thoughts?
What I'm thinking is that I wish he offered this a year ago when we did it all with our team, because I think you would have done a much better job than I did. But I'm okay because our team has gone through it. We've done it and we pretty much did the same thing. We had all of our strengths up and we tried to do a deeper dive into why we do certain things and how we can support each other. So we did it all, my entire staff did it. We did it as a team. So, you know, I wish Robert was around last year offering this. But
what
we're good right now.
what I'm also happy to do is, you know, look at it as a refresher or a different set of eyes coming in and speaking to them. It's not to say anything about what happened before, but it's a kind of a third-party neutral person coming in and talking about them in front of each other, like I did with you guys. And it could be a cathartic personal opportunity. And that gives me an equal excuse to come when things settle down out to your campus and do it maybe in person.
Does that sound okay, Amy? Opportunity to relook at the results of the assessment and then, yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I just, it's just hard to commit to anything right now. We can't even
Yep.
get all of them to be at work at the same time.
Yep.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that you're absolutely
understand.
right. This is, as you know now, from an empathetic point of view, it is incredibly disruptive.
Denali, we'll connect with you separately because I know that, yeah, which is fine. And you were going to say, I saw you come off mute. Any?
Oh, no, I was just thinking that, you know, any kind of, Amy, for you folks, just a renewal, I think, of, or a refresher would be really good. You guys really do well together, but I think just to kind of remind everybody about that again would be awesome. And I think we're gonna have to do a Zoom. If, Robert, if you could kind of figure out how that becomes more personal, if this COVID thing doesn't settle down, and because of time, you'd want to actually get most of this done within January and early February.
Yeah, it works fine on Zoom. I did the school in California all on Zoom, so it works fine.
Awesome. Okay. So that's it for this part here. Robert, we'll just have to figure out, because we're recording right now, actually, it'll probably be, this part of the recording will be very helpful to connect with Jess and with Jorge and Barry again, although we've connected with Barry before. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but I don't think so. Yeah. Who is that, Amy? No. Okay. Okay. Onwards. Okay, so what we had imagined here, and it's 4:30, so we're actually kind of right on time, was an opportunity. We just wanted to give you time, given the circumstances of the world and everything right now, and that there's, Jillian, as you described, drinking from a fire hose here, everybody's doing it, that this would be an opportunity to work on these things. So there's this SIP development form, which ultimately yields or connects to the strategic development form that Joel has placed in each of your slots in the topics on what school could be. There was an opportunity to comment on each other's blogs, which has been happening already. And we had hoped that you would have a second major blog today. Today was the due date for that. And then there was also an opportunity. And by the way, Barry, if you didn't know, Barry wrote a really, really interesting blog on project-based learning and something that's been happening in the Castle complex. Really, really one of the best blogs that I've read in quite a while. Jan has joined us and she's going to be with us for about half an hour and got booted here by her computer. So I'm going to let her back in. And so we also wanted to make it possible for you I can create breakout rooms and that you can meet with Anne or Joel, who's with us from Sacramento, or with Robert. It could be regarding SIP work or the strategic action plan, or a topic of your choice. Jan is here for the next half hour. If you'd like to talk to her, not only about blogging, but also the possibility of ways that your blog can be available to your public, to your community. She's happy to jump into a breakout room with you on that. So I guess we just have to kind of sort ourselves out here and figure out how we want to do this. Do we want to actually go ahead and do the small groups and have them talk to each other, or yeah?
Yeah, you know what, right now Barry's not on yet, right?
Yeah, he's still running late.
Okay, and so we just want to say, if everyone didn't know yet, Barry was appointed as interim principal at Mokulele Elementary School out in the Aiea Radford complex area. So, just to kind of say that maybe when he gets on, we can congratulate him and put things in the chat for him. He's very excited and we're just really happy that he's going to try to join us as much as possible and stay with the program. Second thing is, so there's only 4 or 5, and what might be nice if all 5 of them were put in a room without any of us,
okay,
for for some time, and if you guys just together kind of just share like your final project, like what you're really working on, the purpose of it, and you guys probably, this is like broken record, but your purpose, your project, your baseline data that you're looking at, your strategic actions, your progress monitoring, you should probably right about that point now, and kind of share if you're running into any issues with what you're doing, and just kind of get together on asking questions, of each other, and to kind of share any challenges you might have. So we just thought we'd give you some time to actually sit in there and to sit together and share this and comment and talk about your projects. You should be at a point where it's already defined, and I think this opportunity will kind of help you kind of see where everybody is and to kind of understand that everybody's still in the same kind of situation with the projects, but know that doing is learning and failure is just by not trying. So we're really there with you, and I think each of you can share your projects and really gain a lot from each other. So